What would happen if NATO and Russia faced each other in 2026? 32 countries. Millions of soldiers. Thousands of aircraft. And enough nuclear weapons to destroy the planet. On paper, the difference in power is staggering. But war is never just about numbers. Tonight, we compare NATO and Russia. Army. Air power. Navy. Technology. And geography. Who would actually win? NATO is the most powerful military alliance in human history. Formed in 1949, its purpose was simple: defend Europe from Soviet expansion. Today the alliance has grown far beyond that mission. It now includes 32 member countries across North America and Europe. Facing NATO is Russia, the largest country on Earth, a nuclear superpower, and one of the most heavily militarized nations in the world. Russia inherited much of the Soviet Union's military legacy. Huge stockpiles, powerful missiles, and decades of battlefield experience. If conflict ever escalated between NATO and Russia, it would become the largest military confrontation since World War II. So how do they compare? First, manpower. NATO's strength comes from numbers. Together, NATO countries have around 3.5 million active military personnel. This includes the United States, Turkey, Poland, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, and many others. Millions of trained soldiers across dozens of modern armies. Russia operates a smaller but highly mobilized force. Russia has around 1.3 million active military personnel. But Russia also has millions of reservists and a military system designed for large-scale mobilization. If fully mobilized, Russia could field several million additional troops. Even so, NATO holds the advantage in total manpower. Next, air power. Modern wars are often decided in the sky. And this is where NATO becomes overwhelming. NATO countries operate more than 20,000 aircraft. The United States alone operates thousands of combat aircraft, including the most advanced stealth fighters on Earth, the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. Several NATO countries now operate the F-35. Together they form a massive stealth air fleet. Russia also fields powerful aircraft: the Su-35 fighter, the Su-34 strike aircraft, and the newer Su-57 stealth fighter. But Russia operates around 4,000 military aircraft in total, and many of them are older Soviet-era designs. In overall air power, NATO holds a clear advantage. Now let's look at ground forces. NATO armies operate thousands of modern tanks. These include the American Abrams, the German Leopard 2, and the British Challenger 2. In total, NATO countries operate more than 12,000 tanks. Russia also has a massive armored force. Russia historically built its military around large tank armies designed for war in Europe. Russia has around 12,000 tanks as well, including those kept in reserve storage. However, many Russian tanks come from older Soviet stockpiles. NATO tanks often have better armor, better optics, and better battlefield networking. Still, Russia has a powerful advantage in one category: artillery. Russian doctrine relies heavily on large-scale artillery strikes. Rocket artillery and long-range guns capable of overwhelming enemy positions. On the ground, the balance is closer than in the air or at sea. Now, the naval balance. At sea, the difference becomes enormous. The United States Navy alone is larger than most of the world's navies combined. The United States operates 11 aircraft carriers. These carriers act like floating air bases. They allow aircraft to operate anywhere on the planet. Combined NATO navies include hundreds of destroyers, frigates, and submarines. Russia's navy focuses more on submarines and missile ships. It is powerful in regional waters, especially in the Arctic and the Black Sea. But globally, Russia cannot match NATO's naval reach. Another critical category is nuclear weapons. Russia possesses the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Around 5,800 nuclear warheads. These include intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear submarines, and strategic bombers. NATO's nuclear strength comes mainly from the United States, with additional arsenals from the United Kingdom and France. Together, NATO countries control more than 5,000 nuclear warheads. Both sides possess enough nuclear weapons to destroy civilization, which means any full-scale war would be catastrophic and possibly unwinnable. Finally, military spending and technology. NATO countries spend more than $1.3 trillion per year on defense. Most of that spending comes from the United States. This money funds advanced military technology, stealth aircraft, satellite networks, artificial intelligence systems, and global intelligence capabilities. Russia spends far less, around $110 billion annually. But Russia focuses heavily on strategic weapons, missile systems, air defense technology, and electronic warfare. Still, the overall technological advantage belongs to NATO. In almost every conventional category, NATO is stronger. More troops, more aircraft, more ships, and far greater military spending. But Russia remains one of the most powerful militaries in the world. With vast territory, powerful missile forces, and the largest nuclear arsenal on Earth. Which means one thing: a war between NATO and Russia would not produce real winners, only unimaginable consequences. If you enjoyed this military comparison, like and subscribe for more documentaries about global military power and the technologies shaping the wars of tomorrow. Thanks for watching.